Hello, everyone. All right, welcome to the next video. So we're going to talk about edit texts in this video. So edit texts are Android components, and these are basically used to get data from the users. You can see edit text in many Android applications to get data from the user, such as the name, the last name, the password, address, whatever that might be. Now, there are different types of edit text, and we're going to see these different types in this video and practice with them. So let's go to Android Studio. All right, so naturally, I created a new project for this lesson. The name of this project is Edit Text. All right, so you can also create a new project, and you could also continue from the previous project, whatever you want. You could probably be teaching this course already, right? All right, slow down, not so fast. That's okay. So let's have a look. You can see Edit Text here on the left side of Android Studio in the palette window. Under the text section, the name is Plain Text. Cool. So under this plain text, there are other types of edit text, such as password input, email input, phone number input, multi-line input, time, date, all these, right? So before we start edit text, we got to change the constraint layout to linear layout. All right, so this way we can learn to work with linear layouts at the same time. So I'm just going to delete constraint layout from the XML side and write linear layout here. Now also, the orientation of this linear layout will be vertical. All right, so now the layout's ready. I'm just going to drag and drop a plain text under the linear layout. So now we've got an edit text. ID of this edit text is edit text person name, and the text of this edit text is name. So when we run this application, users will enter data from here, such as name, right? So let's run it and see what happens. There's the application running. And you can see here users will enter data from here, right? Now, I will delete the word name that we wrote before. I can actually write anything here. Also, I could enter numbers from here too, all right? So let's add another edit text. This time I'm going to add password edit text. Also, I will add numerical password edit text. So numerical edit text, that you can just enter the numerical number from here, and also multi-line edit text. Also, let's increase the height of the multi-line edit text a bit because we're going to write multiple lines in this edit text. All right, so let's run the application with these edit texts and see what happens. So the first one is a standard edit text. You can enter numbers and characters. The second one is password edit text. So when you enter the password in this edit text, numbers and characters not going to be seen, right? You can enter numbers and characters, of course, into the password edit text. You're just not going to see them. That's the nature. So the third one is also password edit text, but users can only enter numbers, not characters. Also, these numbers will not be seen in this type of edit text. Now, the last one is multi-line edit text. Users, of course, can enter more than one line of information in this type of edit text. So I'm going to write in here some text lines just to show you how it works. And you can see here after the first line, the second line continues under the first line. For example, let's say you could use this type of edit text to just bring on some user comments or maybe an address or maybe a complaint if you're so open, that kind of thing. Anyway, in the first one, when the user enters more than one line, after that line is finished, well, the head of the line is not going to be seen. You see how that works? Now, we're not done just yet. We've only placed the edit text in here. We have to take this information and use it somehow. So how do we use it? We're going to do that on the Kotlin side using Kotlin code. All right? So we're going to continue with an example. I'll delete edit text except for the first one. Also, I will add a button and the text view. All right, so we're going to develop an Android application, right? The user will enter the name into the edit text, and after they click the OK button, the name is going to be seen on the text view, right? So I'm going to delete the text of the edit text, but it's not going to be empty. I'm going to add a hint property to this edit text. So the hint is a tip given to the user to understand what the user will write in the edit text, right? So I'm going to write in the hint section, please write your name. All right? So I'll change the text of the button to be OK. I've also deleted the text of the text view. Let's change the design of the application a little bit. So let me do 50 dp, the layout margin, top property, the edit text. Also, I'm going to give some space between the edit text and the button, about 30 dp. And likewise, I will give some space between the button and the text view. And I'm going to do 50 dp, height of text view. Cool. I'm also going to change the width of the edit text. I'm going to give that 200. It's a little small, so I'm going to give it 300, okay? Yeah, that's good. So, yeah, I'm going to change the height of the edit text to 60. And in the same way, I'm going to change the width of the button to 300. Now, for the text view, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Okay, so I'm going to place these three components right into the center of the screen horizontally. Now, how do I do that? I first select the linear layout, then I'll go to the gravity property from the attributes section, and I will choose the center horizontally option. So now all the components are placed in the center. And I will add a text on the text view, and let's just call it result. And we might as well also center the text to the text view component. For that, I can just change the gravity property of the text view component to center. And also, I'm going to change the background of the linear layout. Now, from here, you can choose any color you want. I'm going to just choose a color in shades of blue. Yeah, I think that color is the one I was looking for. So after choosing a color, I'm just going to press OK. All right. Oh, so let's change the background of the other components too, huh? So I'm going to choose white for all three components. And first, we'll make the background color of the button white. Of course, since the text color of the button is white, the arrow text is not going to be visible, so I got to make the text color be black. All right, so now let's make the background color of the edit text component white. See, so notice now that we changed the background color of the button using the background tint property, yes? Cool. So for the other components, we use the background property. All right, so finally, I'm going to change the background color of the text view component. Yeah. Whoa, the button's a little big, don't you think? So I'm going to change the width of the button to 200. All right, so now I will give an ID to these components. For the edit text component, I'm going to write edit text name. Button OK, and that's for the button. And text view result is for the text view. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. So let's run it and have a look on the phone. So yeah, you can see the application is working. You can see the hint here. When I write Arnold here and click OK, Arnold should be seen on the text view instead of result, but the application's not doing this now. Why is that? Well, like I told you earlier, we haven't written the Kotlin code yet, all right? So for that, let's go to the main activity.kt file, and we'll write some code. Yeah. First, I'll define these three components. I'll define edit text. Now, after I write late init var, I need to give a name to this edit text. It can be name, simple as that. So after the colon, when I write edit text and choose from the autocomplete, Android Studio imports the required class android.widget.editText. Cool. Second, I'm going to do the same thing for the button, and I'll make its name OK. Last component, text view, write late init var result colon text view. All right, so now I'm going to assign the XML components that I designed before to these names using the find view by ID function. And that is inside the onCreate method. Now it's all falling into place, right? So here I write name equals find view by ID r.id.edit text name. All right? Second line, OK equals find view by ID r.id.button OK. And just like I did before, result equals find view by ID r.id.result. You with me so far? All right, because so far so good. So I'm just going to add the click listener to the OK button. All right, OK.set on click listener. I'll choose the click listener that's offered to us by the code editor automatically, and then autocomplete will take care of the rest. And I will write code inside curly braces. Cool? So now we can start coding. So first, I have to get the data that the user enters in the edit text. How do I do that? Well, I'll just write in here, name.text.toTheString. So this code will take that text that the user enters in the edit text and then convert it into the string. Okay, so now I want to write this string on the result text view. Follow? But before I do that, I'm going to need to define a string container named username. So I will assign the text that I took from the edit text to this username string. And then because of this, I will write here var username colon string equals name.text.toString. All right, so I can set this username on the text view. I will write here result.setText, and then inside the parentheses, I will write username. Also, you can write this code instead of the setText function. Result.text equals username. Now, I know it's a bit complex. I really hope you understand this part. It is very important. Go back over it if you need to. But basically, I define a container, and its name is the username. Then after that, I took the text the user entered and converted it to a string. And then I assigned this text to the username container, that is, variable. And then lastly, I set this username to the text view. All right? So let's run the application and see how it works. So the application opens. I'm just going to write in here a name and click OK. All right, so as you can see, it works. It takes the name that I wrote in the edit text and writes it to the text view instead of result. Got it? All right. So that's enough for this video. Yeah. edit text, like I was saying, kind of complex, but you got to master it. So go back over it if you need to. And I will see you in the next video.